Hi, welcome back for the last video of this month in our ankle mobility series. Today I'm going to walk you through some variations on a low lunge, continuing with our topic of the ankle. So some different variations in this low lunge working, focused in on ankle mobility. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we are go ahead and come into a low lunge. And when we're in a low lunge, if your back knee, the one that's on the floor, resting on the floor, if you need a little extra added support, a blanket is blanket's a nice way to give that extra support to your knee. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. Bring it back actually. Okay. So come into a low lunge. We'll step the left foot forward first. And you can use a couple of blocks. There are different heights on the blocks. So if you're, in a low lunge and your fingers at the floor, it feels a little jammed up, in your belly, the chest. You can use the blocks to lift your torso up. And there are 3 different heights that you can explore. So this is 1. Number 2, you'll start to see how it lifts up my torso. And then number 3. So basically the block served as kind of like an extension of the arm. And I'm going to go ahead and work on this level with the block. In this low lunge, you can keep the back toes untucked, or you can tuck them under. It's a little extra added toe mobility work here if you have them tucked under, so nothing wrong with that. Either one is fine. And the first thing that I want you to explore here is feeling this action of, so I'm going to move the block, rooting the heel down towards the floor. So you're pressing down. Now without actually moving the foot, I want you to feel the action like you were dragging your heel towards the wall behind you. Okay, so rooting or pressing down and then dragging your heel towards the back wall, the wall behind you. Take a couple breaths with that. See how that feels for you. And just these very little actions, you might notice the amount of work that's being done. So take one more breath with that. And now continuing that action of driving down and feeling the action of the heel sliding back, I want you to lift your toes. I'm going to move my block. I want you to lift your toes away from the floor. So you feel like your toes, you're pulling them towards your shins, only moving to the degree that's right for you. So listen to your body's edge. And then release the foot down. One more time, lift the toes. And release. And one more time, lifting the toes. And release. And then switch sides. So right foot comes forward. Using the blocks if you like, or with your hands resting on the mat. Driving the heel down towards the floor. And then feel like you're dragging your heel towards the wall behind you. They're very subtle actions. Maintain that awareness. And then lift the toes towards the shins. And release. So again, you're maintaining that driving down through the heel and the action of dragging the heel towards the wall behind you. You're not actually moving your foot. So you're continuing those movements, as actions, as you lift the toes towards the heels. Oh, I'm sorry, as you lift the toes towards the shins. Take one more breath. Release. One more. And be mindful when you start to lift the toes, that you don't drive the hips back. Keep all of this right where it is, and you're moving just in that ankle. One more breath. And release it down. Take a moment. So separate the knees about the width of the mat. Arms extended in front of you, and just take a moment here in child's pose. And then come back up to table pose, sit to hands and knees. And we'll bring the left foot in front again, coming back into that low lunge. All right. So now from here, still working with that action of driving the heel down and then dragging it back behind you. This time, take an inhale, and as you exhale, start to draw the knee forward or the torso forward. Still keeping the heel driving down and dragging back. If you need to move the blocks, that's fine. Or your hands, and come back up. One more time. Exhale, lowering down. Again, honor where your body's edge is. These practices are never about the no pain, no gain philosophy. It's not about pushing yourself past your edge. It's about listening to where that edge is, and by honoring that, you are developing that awareness and that sustainable approach to your movement practice. Okay, now what we're going to do here is, so you're going to externally rotate your toes. So it's like you're pointing your toes towards the corner of your mat. Now, when we lean forward, the direction you're going with your knee is the same direction the toes are pointing. Don't try to drive your knee forward. Drive it in the direction of the toes. So first, remember, heel rooting down and sliding. And when I say sliding back, you're sliding the heel that same direction, right, that the foot is pointing, or the toes are pointing. All right, so take an inhale. And as you exhale, nice and slow, going to move the block so you can kind of hopefully see what's going on here. Come back. And exhale, dragging that heel back, 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 back. Stopping when you need to. And release. One more time. And we're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back. I'm just going to move my block so you can see what's going on with my feet. This time, you're going to internally rotate the toes. So now your toes are pointing towards the opposite corner of your mat. Again, drive your knee in the direction of the toes. Drag your heel back in that same direction. Okay, before we move, root the heel down, drag it back, and as you're feeling the action of that heel dragging back, 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 take the knee forward. Remember, follow the line of direction of the toes. Hold it, and come back up. One more time. Come back up. Last one. Root that heel down, drag it back. Very strong active foot here. And point the toes forward, and let's switch sides. if you need to. And when you're ready, right foot steps forward. Again, remember, back toes, you can either keep them uncurled or you can tuck them under. See what works for you right now in your practice. All right, front foot, press the heel down. Feel the action of dragging it back to the wall behind you. And then as you exhale, we're gonna come forward. Coming back up. And exhale. That heel, you can feel your heel dragging, almost like you want to drag or take the mat and actually move it behind you, but you're not actually moving the mat. It's just the visualization of it. Come back up. Last time. Set the foot and exhale, slowly lower down. Good. Come back up. All right. Externally rotate the toes. So take them to, I say about 2 o'clock. Yeah, 2 o'clock, but pay attention to where that direction needs to be for your body. Again, knee drives forward in the direction of the toes. Okay, so root down through the heel, drag the heel back. It's in a diagonal direction now, and lean forward. Come back up. Nice and slow. Take a breath. Come back up. One more. And I'm not looking for a really deep lunging forward here. Focus on maintaining that action in the foot and the heel, and then discovering where the mobility is in your ankle. Okay, come back up. Okay, internal rotation of the foot. Okay, again. So, root the heel down. Slide it in that back diagonal direction. Drive the knee forward in the direction of the toes. Take one more breath. And back out of it. And one more. So the foot is not just hanging out here. It is not relaxed. It is very active. Your ankle is very active here. Last one. Breathe. And come back to child's pose. You can separate the knees the width of the mat. Extend your arms long in front. Let your forehead rest towards the mat. If the forehead is not reaching the mat, that's totally fine. You can stack your fists or curl your hands into fists and then stack them one on top of another, and then you can rest your forehead on the fist. And then breathe. When you're ready, you can come back up to sitting. So thank you for joining me for today's mobility video. I hope it has been of help to you. If you have any questions, let me know. Ask me in the comments or direct message me. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you will get notice of when the next video is available. Thank you, and I'll see you for the next one.